I really want to work in the media industry and learn the ins and outs of what goes into the making of a film. Don't you?
Yes, that would be great. We would have to learn a lot on the production side of things though.
Yes, we would. We could learn it all from Jessica Fratt. Well, she produced and directed the trailer for Tenacious.
Oh, excellent idea. The internet has a lot of information these days, you know. I wonder which websites Jessica used when making her 3 products.
For my research, I used a variety of websites. I presented my ideas on WordPress as it's clear to follow and allows images and YouTube videos to be shown. IMDb was helpful when looking for stills from other films, as was Google Images, both of which also inspired my choice of clothing and how to portray a certain genre. I found a lot of other trailers on YouTube whose style influenced me as well. Wikipedia came in handy when trying to understand different terms and the history of trailers. All 5 of these websites also played a vital role in the design of my poster and magazine cover. To ensure I had the right size template for my magazine cover, I went on magazine websites such as Empire and Film to compare them with my own. I was strongly influenced by some of their covers in the way that they were laid out. For me to be fully satisfied with my trailer, I needed it to convey all the right messages so that the audience could understand the characters' emotions and what was happening immediately. Having said that, I also wanted to leave a bit of mystery so they would be interested and engaged enough in the plot to want to watch the actual feature film. To do this, I needed to watch many other trailers and analyse their use of everything from camera angles to special effects. I fulfilled some of these aspects using Final Cut Express. I was really drawn to the use of slow motion in the Sherlock Holmes 2 trailer because of the tense atmosphere it created, so I applied the same effect to a shot in mine. I also changed the brightness and saturation in some shots to either make them more dark and eerie or quite the opposite. For my titles, I used LiveType. It has a wide selection of fonts and styles you can choose from to create the titles most suitable for your needs. In my case, I found it useful because it allows you to import a background, and so I used the waves and simply wrote over it. To create the end screen, I first found other examples on YouTube, and then moved to Photoshop where I put the appropriate names and imported it to Final Cut. I attempted to use Adobe After Effects for my title sequence after having seen one on YouTube. I tried to follow tutorials on how to make a smoky atmosphere, but in the end I much preferred LiveType. I felt the waves were far more relevant to my trailer. I found most of the sound effects on freesound.org and some from YouTube, which I downloaded to MP3. The majority of my trailer was filmed using a Sony Handycam. I chose this camera because of its quality and easy use. However, some footage was filmed using a Canon 550D. These were mainly close-ups, as I think it has a more effective depth of field, creating more of an atmosphere. I used a tripod for most of my shots to avoid camera shake. However, occasionally I chose to film handheld, as I thought it created more tension. The wide-angle lens came in handy when filming on the cliff, as it emphasised the empty space around the character. I used a separate microphone to ensure I got the highest quality sound. When I began designing my magazine cover, I had trouble deciding between using Adobe InDesign and Photoshop. After trying out InDesign, I found that Photoshop was much simpler to use and allowed you to do many more things in more of a freestyle rather than a template. I also used Photoshop to create the poster. Once I had an image cut out to a decent standard, I imported it to iPhoto to manipulate the contrast, brightness, saturation, etc., as I found it easier and more effective than Photoshop. When it came to choosing the perfect font, I searched on Google and downloaded many different ones to experiment with until I was pleased. Go Animate is a feature on YouTube that allows you to animate videos. I use this frequently in my evaluation. After I published them to YouTube, I downloaded them using an online YouTube downloader and then imported them to Final Cut, where I added images, video, and just generally edited them. I also used Audacity to record my voice and alter the pitch to make it more entertaining for the viewers.